I am suffering with allergies. So I've got a lot of coughing going on. So I apologize in advance for my choking and coughing. I'm talking today about stuffing your feelings. When you get an emotion that stirs in you that you don't want to face, you don't want to look at it. You don't want to experience it. You don't want to feel it. So what do you do with that feeling? You ignore it. You ignore it and you give your attention to something else to keep you from even realizing that it is there. Normally, you will find something to stuff that feeling away. It could be fear, it could be disappointment, it could be feeling a loss. Whatever the feeling is, whatever the devastation, whatever the attack on your soul, it will give you horrible feelings that you don't want to face. And in order to keep from feeling those feelings, you will find something to stuff them down or to push them away. Now, let's just say that you have a fear of something. That fear is staring you in the face, but you don't want to look at it. So you're kind of like turning your head, running the other way, and then finally you get to the point to where you have to put something between you and the fear. Normally, that's food. So instead of facing the fear, you're going to be looking at some potato chips, some cookies, and maybe some cake, maybe a pizza, maybe some sandwiches. That's going to keep you from looking at the fear. And it works for a while, temporarily. All food fixes are temporary, they're not permanent. Maybe you lost your job, or maybe you were up for a promotion that you did not get. So you're feeling a sense of loss, you're feeling a sense of embarrassment, you're feeling a sense of failure and rejection, and that thing's staring you in the face. You don't want to look at it. So what do? You put something between you and that feeling to try and push it back. And you are using food to do that. Maybe you broke up with somebody. Maybe you're going through a divorce. Maybe you're just going through a breakup. And the feeling of loss and rejection and heartbreak is so terrible. You don't want to look at it, you don't want to feel it. So you do everything you can to put something between you and that feeling so that you don't have to feel it. That's what we do when we use food to stuff our feelings. That feeling rises up, and as soon as it does, you cram it down with some food. You say, oh, heck no, you're not coming at me. I'm not going to feel you. And then you slap it away with food. Is this a good thing? No, heck no. You ever, you ever see a pork chop before you stuff it? Little bitty thing, maybe about that thick. But once you stuff it, woo, it gets real thick, doesn't it? It looks all nice and plump and stuff. Well, that's what happens to us when we stuff our feelings, when we stuff our emotions. We keep stuffing, 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 and pretty soon we're all puffed up. It's not a good thing. We don't feel good about it. We feel a lot of shame. We feel a lot of guilt. We're really, really down on ourselves. We're really discouraged. We're really disappointed. But when it comes round again, Does that keep us from stuffing our feelings? Does that keep us from wanting to push that feeling? Well, heck no. We do it every time. Why is that? Because it's what we do. Because it has been built into us. It's just something that we do. Comes a time when we need to learn how to break these habits that we have created and that we have been building in our lives for years, years and years. It's time to break those habits. How do we do it? Well, let's just say we got the, the fear of whatever coming after us and we don't want to see it. Well, we can turn around and run from it, or we can turn around and face it and realize what we're afraid of. What am I afraid of? Whatever the thing is that you're afraid of, I'll tell you what, a lot of times it is the unknown that we're afraid of. So the fear is that right there, but what if this happens? What if that happens? What if they find this? What if I got this kind of disease? What if? You got all these what ifs in your head. What do you do? Face the fear and say, okay, what if? What is going on in me? Talk to your doctor. Talk to somebody that's been through it before. Get online and Google it. Get some information. Empower yourself with the information. And then maybe you won't be so afraid anymore. If it's disappointment from losing a job or whatever, there's nothing you can do about that. So what you need to do is just accept it and move on. Now you're still going to feel those bad feelings and you're still going to want to run to the food. But face it, let the emotion come over you, feel it, go through it, and then move on. Lots of times we don't want to feel the feeling. But the best thing for us to do is face the feeling, we'll feel it, and then move on. Same thing with a breakup. You don't want to feel the pain. You don't want to feel the agony. You just want to get through it. And the only way you're going to get through it is to keep on moving. The only way, there's a song that says, if you're going through hell, keep on going, don't stop. Well, if you're going through the hell of a breakup, well, then just keep right on going. And don't sit around and whine and cry and buy potato chips and cookies and brownies and bake cakes and do all of the stuff that you know is going to keep you at home, stuffing that feeling and making you feel worse. Get up, face it, accept it, and then figure out a way to move on. That's the only way that you're going to be able to get through this thing. Now, when the when the feeling comes at you and you go for the food, what are some easy ways to fix the food problem? You're going to go for the food anyway. So I suggest that while you're learning how to divert your mind and learning how to find other things to act as a block between you and the feeling, or because you can't accept the feeling, or because you're going through the feeling that's making you feel really bad, you're going to want to go to the cake. Maybe you shouldn't have cake. Maybe you shouldn't have the ingredients for the cake in your house. Maybe you should just get rid of all that stuff so that you don't have that to run to. Make it a little more difficult for you to fix that food that you run to. If you're gonna run to food, then tell yourself, okay, you can have this, you can have that. One girl told me she let herself have grapefruit, and how much grapefruit can you eat? And really compulsively. I don't know. My lips start to burn from the stuff. I let myself have jicama, jicama and kohlrabi, which are my two of my favorite vegetables. But to tell you the truth, I think it's because of the crunch. I think I like that. But to tell you the truth, if I eat too much kohlrabi and too much jicama, it has a lot of fiber in it, so I'm in trouble. So I learned that the hard way, and now I say, oh no, I'm not going to eat too much of this. So I usually allow myself about a cup, and then I quit. But In the meantime, while you're trying to learn how to deal with this stuff, that's what I'm telling you to do. Another thing that I've heard of that people tell me works is a controlled binge. You're gonna binge. You want the food, so you allow yourself to have it, but you allow yourself to have it in increments. Like you can have a slice of cake at 1 o'clock, but you can't have another slice until 5. So you got to find something else to do until you can get to that 5 o'clock piece of cake. Um, Usually, this will heal you because it makes you think about other things during that 4 hours between slices of cake, and then you realize you really don't need that slice of cake. It works. I've done that. That the last binge, serious binge I had was a controlled binge, and it worked. I went through some suffering while I waited for my second piece. But while I was sitting there, driving, going crazy and trying to cope, I was finding other things to do to make it the time pass. And then I realized after 4 hours, then I could break 6 hours, and then it was 8 hours, and then, hey, I don't even need this stuff because I found other things to do. And that's the trick. You got to divert your mind and try and find something to do with your hands so that you're doing something with your hands and you're not able to do this. So, that is my take on stuffing your feelings. Instead of stuffing them, face them. And instead of using food to block the feelings, look for something else. But number one, face the feeling and let yourself experience the pain, the anguish. Let yourself experience that because once you get that through you, you can move on.